About Time with Rashawn's About Time Boxing, aka Mr. Trill 100 Mil. What's up to my About Time Boxing family and the Trill 100 Mil gang? Thank you to every single one of y'all who has been taking out the time to watch the videos, like the videos, share the videos, and leave the comments. If you have not already subscribed to the channel and you're watching this video or any of my videos for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. Encourage others to subscribe to the channel. Pass the word about Rashawn's About Time Boxing family. Become part of the About Time Boxing family and the Trill 100 Mil gang. Shout out to my guy Rebel Life Boxing. Support his channel. Mark Nash, support his channel. Hustlers Home, support his channel. MZ Always Talk Boxing, support his channel. And yeah, that's it. Rebel Life Boxing, Mark Nash, Hustlers Home, MZ Always Talk Boxing, and Nate's Boxing Nation. Please support those YouTube channels as well. Okay, so we're gonna get right into it. So Errol Spence defeats YOUDENIS Ugas exactly the way I said that it would happen. See, this is why y'all need to subscribe to the channel and, you know, like and share my videos, and you know, y'all got to rock with me, baby. I said that he would walk Ugas down and possibly stop him late in the fight, and stopped him in the 10th round. If they didn't stop, if the referee Lawrence Cole didn't stop the fight in the 10th round, they definitely would have stopped it in the 11th. Now, the way that I saw the fight going, okay, I gave Ugas the first round. You know, the first round is always the fill-out round, but I gave Ugas the first round. I gave Spence the second, third, fourth, and fifth round. Now, the 6th round was kind of like in a toss-up. And that's because, you know, Errol Spence, his mouthpiece came out, you know, he, you know, took his eye off the, off the ball for a minute. Ugas caught him with a shot and stumbled him and knocked him against the ropes. Now, you know, they say if the ropes hold somebody up, that's a 10-8 round. The ropes held up Errol Spence. So you can make the argument that that could possibly have been maybe a 10-8 round. Now, Errol Spence finished out the round pretty strong. So, like I said, I slightly gave Ugas that round, but you know, the way Errol Spence finished it out, the round could have been even. But then it was all Spence after that. So after the 6th, it was, the round that could have been even or slightly given to Ugas, but the 7th, 8th, 9th, it was all Spence. But now, you could still see some of the rust, though, in Errol Spence. See, and the reason, this is what I mean about levels to certain fighters, and fighters who strive to repeatedly and constantly elevate their levels every time they step into the ring, i.e. Jaron Ennis. If Errol Spence had made a mistake like that against a Jaron Ennis, mouthpiece drop out and you take your eye, Ugas is not on the level of a Jaron Ennis, period, point blank. I'm just telling y'all that right now. So anybody who thought that Ugas had a chance at winning this fight, listen, every time Errol Spence stepped to him, Ugas did nothing. He couldn't fight backing up. And I told y'all, he fights with this hunched over style, and he always shaking his arms out, and that's it. And he was put on this pedestal type level of being an elite fighter simply because he beat a past his prime and over the hill Manny Pacquiao, and we know that that wasn't the case. He's not an elite fighter. He's not. And this is, and listen, and I don't want nobody to misconstrue or misunderstand what I'm saying. I am in no way, shape, or form trying to disrespect YOUDENIS Ugas. I'm not. So please don't think that that's what I'm doing. But facts are facts. Early in the fight, Ugas, when Spence started catching him, his eyes started swelling up. I knew that that was going to be a factor later on in the fight, as it was the 10th round. That's why they stopped the fight. Eye was, you know, his right eye was closed shut. He couldn't see. But now this is the thing too. Now Errol Spence, again, like I said, you could see the rust on him. For those of y'all who saw the fight, and if y'all understand, y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, Spence was, you know, sometimes lunging in with shots, missing shots. Ugas was doing a good job early on in the fight with counter. We was countering Spence early in the fight. I thought he did a good job. Spence was missing. He was making him pay. But like I said before, in the power department, Errol Spence, he has the lead in that because Ugas only had 12 knockouts. Spence got 21. I think his last knockout was in 2018 or something like that. But still, he has the power in the knockout. You know, he has the advantage in the power division in those two. Ugas is not a, you know, you can't expect him to go in that joint and KO somebody unless they got a weak chin. That's not his thing. Ugas is going to look to go the distance and hope to get the decision. So now, where does Ugas go from here? And I told y'all in the video that I put up recently that, you know, when he loses this fight, he's going to, you know, like I said, he's going to go back down because, like I said, this was his moment. And I said, I'm not going to call it his 15 minutes of fame. I'm not going to do that. This was Ugas's moment. This was his time. And it passed now. It's gone. He may get a, like, I could see him fighting a Keith Thurman. But if Errol Spence did that to him, what do you think Terence Crawford going to do to him? And if you know Crawford is destroying, what do you think a Jaron Ennis going to do to him? He's not on the level of a Jaron Ennis. That's just the reality of it. He's not. And even though Errol Spence won against Ugas, but this right here just goes to show you the levels that they on in that Ugas, like I said before, is not a minus or A or A plus level fighter. He's not. He's a C plus plus, B minus at best. And again, this is no insult to him. He got that position because he beat up over the hill past his prime Manny Pacquiao. Ugas would not have beaten the Pacquiao that beat Keith Thurman or that beat Adrian Broner or Ricky Hatton and, you know, David Estrada and the Pacquiao who, you know, Antonio Margarito, who beat all them guys. Ugas wouldn't have beat that Pacquiao. He would not have beat him. And if Spence was rusty the way that he is and beat Ugas, then what is he going to do against another fighter that's on his level? A Terence Crawford, a Jaron Ennis, because Boots is on that level now. For those of y'all who saw this fight and y'all seen, if y'all couldn't see the rust in Errol Spence and the mistakes that he was making, and the way, I mean, like, he was telegraphing a lot of his punches. There was no repetition in punches. You know, he was, but he, he did what I said he would do. I said he would walk Ugas down. Why? Because Ugas was right there. He was tailor-made. Styles make fights. Ugas' style was tailor-made for Errol Spence's style. Stood right there in front of him. And I told y'all that. I said Ugas was flat-footed. I said he couldn't fight going backwards. And I said that Errol Spence would walk him down. I said he fight with this, Ugas fight with this hunched over style like this. He just hunched over style and shaking his arms out. But every time Spence stepped to him, backing him up, he wasn't doing anything. And again, not taking nothing from you. I thought Ugas early on in the fight, I thought he did a fairly decent job with countering Errol Spence. Errol Spence was stronger, and Spence walked him down. And Errol Spence is the better fighter between the two. But the mistakes that Errol Spence made in this fight against Ugas, he can't make those kind of mistakes against a Terence Crawford or Jaron Ennis. Or maybe even a Virgil Ortiz. I don't know. But I know he can't do it with no Terence Crawford or Jaron Ennis. Can't make those mistakes. You know, he cannot make those mistakes. And Jaron Ennis has fast hands. He has repetitive combinations. He can, and in the pocket with Spence like that. And remember, Boots can switch. You know, he can, you know, and he do it just instinctively, not like Terence Crawford when he gets in trouble. Crawford do it to make the adjustment. If he in trouble one way, he makes the adjustment, which is smart. You should be able to make those necessary adjustments. That's what separates you from the other fighters. And that's what makes you a part of the elite, knowing when to make those adjustments and how to make those adjustments when necessary. But, like I said, Ugas is not a top, like, A play. He's not on the level of a Terence Crawford or Errol Spence or Jaron Ennis. He's not. Now, you have Stanionis and Butayev getting ready to fight for this other WBA belt. Now, maybe Ugas may try to, you know, he may try to call out the winner of Stanionis and that, you know, maybe to try to, you know, get his way back in, but it's not going to be no rematch for Errol Spence and Ugas. So now the question comes, you know, now the question is the Terence Crawford Errol Spence fight going to happen? Because I don't care what nobody say. Y'all can disagree all y'all want, but after seeing this fight, oh, the Errol Spence Terence Crawford fight has to happen. Boxing needs that fight. If everybody thought that this fight wasn't necessary for boxing, come on. Then Terence Crawford and Errol Spence is a no-brainer. Boxing needs it. And then whoever wins that fight, Jaron Ennis should have his pick. #1 contender for either or. Whoever wins that fight. Because then whoever becomes undisputed at welterweight, now y'all don't have no excuse to not fight a Virgil Ortiz or Jaron Ennis or any of these other people. But the same way Butayev exposed Jamal James and you know, Ugas got exposed the same way. But I tried to tell y'all, some people left some, you know, yeah, you know, no, you know, Ugas is that. I was never trying to insult the man. It takes a lot for any fighter to be able to get in that ring. That boxing is not easy. If you ever been in that ring, you know. I've been in that ring. I know it's not easy. But like they say, there are levels. There's levels. Errol Spence is just on a different level, but Errol Spence made a lot of mistakes. And the mistakes is due to the rust, the long layoff, you know, with training for Pacquiao and the eye surgery and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, ordinarily I would say he should take like a tune-up fight before he take that Terence Crawford fight. But in this case, nah, he need to go. His next fight should be against Terence Crawford. If it's not going to be against Terence Crawford, he should be fighting Jaron Ennis, period. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not looking at it no other way. Either fight Terence Crawford or give Jaron Ennis his title shot after he fight Castillo Clayton in May. Because those are the, in my opinion now. Listen, don't forget to like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave the comments in the comment section below. But in my opinion, Errol Spence needs to either fight Terence Crawford next or give Jaron Ennis his shot at that IBF title. And being as though Errol Spence made it perfectly clear that he has no intentions on fighting Jaron Ennis, you know, once he becomes the IBF #1 contender, and when he fights in the IBF title eliminator against Castillo Clayton, he said he has no intentions on that. So he said he's focusing on the undisputed thing. So if that's what you're going to focus on, then go ahead and fight Terence Crawford And whoever wins that, then y'all give Jaron Ennis his shot. Because it's time for y'all to stop running from. I'm not. Let me backtrack. I don't want to say stop running from, but it's time that that the Jaron Ennises, the Virgil Ortizes, and them people. It's time that they get their shot. It's time, because you got the Jalil Hackett's and coming up. The business. The Keyshawn Davises and all that. You got these other people coming up in the ranks. They coming up now. So y'all go ahead and handle all y'all business and go ahead so Jaron Ennis can go ahead. Jaron Ennis should be reigning as a champion already anyway. I've said this millions of times, but we're gonna say that one for another one. But for those of y'all who saw the fight, drop the comments in the comment section below. Let me know how y'all feel about the fight. Do y'all agree with me? Do y'all disagree with me? Drop the comments, subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this video, and pass the word about Rashawn's About Time Boxing. Did y'all notice any ring rust on Errol Spence? I did. Do y'all realize now that Ugas was never a top level fighter? He gained that moment by beating Manny Pacquiao. And a Manny Pacquiao who, by the way, now remember this too. Now, when Errol Spence had to get the eye surgery and Bernard Hopkins was talking all that trash, talking about, Errol Spence was lying and all that kind of stuff, but when he had to get the eye surgery and when they brought in Ugas as a replacement, I said that was going to be Pacquiao's last fight, and I said it's highly unlikely that Errol Spence and Pacquiao was going to fight, because if that was going to happen, again, when you got fights of certain magnitudes, they don't bring in last minute replacements. They put the fight off until whatever needs to get worked out or get done is done. So when they brought Ugas in, I knew that was Pacquiao's last fight. I said, Pacquiao done after this. That's why they brought Ugas in. So him and Spence is never going to fight. And when he beat Pacquiao, everybody was like, but if y'all follow Pacquiao's career, y'all know how dangerous of a fighter Pacquiao was when he was in his prime. Y'all see, the people that he was beating up, and, when he beat up Oscar De La Hoya, all that kind of stuff. Y'all seen it. There's no way that Ugas would have beat that Manny Pacquiao. Never. But they gave him all that credit. And then they tried to put him on that top level just because of that alone. But even when Ugas had that WBA title, he was trying to avoid. He wasn't trying to fight Jaron Ennis, because he knew if he lost that moment would never come again. That's why I said I'm not gonna call it his 15 minutes of fame. This was his moment, and now the ship has sailed. And Ugas, it's possible he may never get back to that again. Now, he may be the guy, that they put in front of a Jaron Ennis to see, so Boost can get ready to fight one of the bigger guys, or put Ugas in front of a Virgil Ortiz. And like I said, you got Butayev and Stanionis. So, and because with the discrepancy with the WBA titles and all that, so Butayev got the WBA belt too. So, let's see if they try to reroute things and try to go after that belt and try to get that. Let's see what strategic moves Ugas is going to make, him and his team is going to make to try to keep himself in play on that elite level. But now, Errol Spence, it's time for you to put up, shut up, or move on. Again, subscribe to the channel, drop the comments in the comment section below. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all got my analysis. Ugas versus Spence. Spence stopped Ugas in the 10th round. Referee technical decision. The doctor, I was close, so stopped him. TKO, whatever, RTD. Errol Spence wins the fight. He's the now unified WBA, WBC, and IBF welterweight champion. Subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button. Drop the comments in the comment section below. Let me know what y'all think about the fight.